Oui, hein, quand on va en voyage. L'Espagne est de l'autre côté. En français, c'est oui. Bon, alors, vous venez de quel endroit? D'où venez-vous? Pardon?
Il ne parle pas beaucoup.
Pas grave, je vais essayer d'en tirer un petit peu. Oui, j'essaie d'en tirer un petit peu, OK. Alors, vous ne comprenez pas ça, d'où venez-vous, d'où habitez-vous? Alors, de quelle ville? Arkansas. Ah, voilà. Saint-Anne, ça c'est votre ville. OK. C'est dans quel état? Arkansas, c'est ça? Non, l'état? New Hampshire? Oui. Ah, OK, dans l'état du New Hampshire. Bon, d'accord. Alors, j'imagine comme ça, vous ne voulez pas l'explication en français. You much prefer that I switch in English with a French accent? So remember, you paid me for it, okay? So, welcome at l'Atelier Paris. L'Atelier Paris has got his name by the master carver. His name is Alphonse Paris, and he is the man that has created this workshop, and that's already 49 years ago. Well, Mr. Paris is still alive. He's 72 years old, and he's still doing a bit some carving, but he doesn't spend anymore all day long here at the workshop. So that's one of the reasons when a few years ago he retired. Well, those 3 rooms were slowly turned as a small museum, so that way whenever you would come and visit and Mr. Paris was not there himself personally, well, at least you could see the different style of carving that he did, some books, some pictures that will let you know more what he's all about. It's also at that moment that he did this big one behind me, so at least one of his artwork will be quite big in size. Now, on this one, he also decided to represent some different Canadian legend or stories that are very well known with the French Quebec, so that way not only you will see a big artwork and wonder what it's all representing, but at least you'll find out a little bit something about the French people. So that's what we call the mixture of art and tradition. Now, a legend is the type of story that part of it is true, and a big part it's fantasy, and most of those stories will let you know about the moral of their great-great-great-grandfather, and what they were supposed to do and not to do. Well, never forget that at one point they were 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. They do very weird things at that age. Hey, some of you are passing on the tradition. So I hope you're preparing some good ones, huh? So I took those stories from a book written by Stephen Beaugrand-Fréchette, and it's called Canadian Legend and Story. And in the book, the writer used this guy there. His name is Joe Violon, and he's the one telling you once upon a time, and this or that. Now, he does that very, very well in the book, but in real life, he can't speak a word of English. So that's why you all get stuck with my explanation instead of theirs. So how are you doing so far with a French accent? Okay. Oh, not too bad. It's cool. Okay, that's good. Very clever. Did I tell you, by the way, that the accent is quite contagious? So you might all go back home to New Jersey, New Hampshire, with a French accent. Whoa! What a souvenir to bring back. Oh la la. Might look good at your next party, huh? Okay, the first story that we have here, that's the legend about the werewolf. Now, in the 18th century, most of the French people were from the Catholic faith. So you have to make sure that you are going to church, that you are going to confession, and doing But not only that, try to make sure your neighbors see you doing out there. So that was very important. It hasn't changed all that much today, yeah? Otherwise, they say that if you were 7 weeks without showing up to church, the werewolf was sent to your home to scare you up and send you to church. So what would happen is that the good neighbor, we always have one, this neighbor's been watching you, know that you haven't gone in church in 7 weeks, so what that lovely neighbor will do, he'll put a fur coat over his head and show up to your home and scare you off and make you believe he was the werewolf. Now, apparently it used to be quite effective. People used to get so scared that they would run to go to church, or the priest would take them immediately from this terrible beast that just appeared into their home. So he says, I don't come back to me and ask me how come they never knew. Well, probably wasn't in church either, otherwise how would he find out that everybody else wasn't there? Now this woman here behind, she's not part of the story. It's supposed to be me, moi. Apparently, when Mr. Bai was carving, he says that I've been a real pest. Well, listen, I was disturbing him a little bit, asking questions. How are you going to put your wood together? What chisel are you going to use for that part? Well, what's the mixture in the color? What are you going to do tomorrow? Well, he got so fed up with me, he put me there watching on him forever, so I'm stuck in that pot. He says to me, we're saving 50 minutes of property because at least there I was not talking. Now, do I look at somebody that talks all the time? You're not quite diplomatic this morning, huh? Otherwise, if I look like somebody that talks a lot, I hope you have no big plans for the rest of the morning. More stuff to say, okay. Now this one here. That's the legend of the story about the flying canoe. Well, that's all the lumberjack that are up north since 2-3 months. On Christmas Eve, they all pretty sad in Unlabeled because they have no transportation to go back home and join their wife and their loved one for the Christmas celebration. Well, so what they all decide to do is to pass the pack or a deal with the devil, which is at the top corner up here or maybe down here. Oh, what a resemblance. Will provide them with the flying canoe. But hey, the devil doesn't do that for nothing. In exchange, the devil asks all the lumberjack not to swear for 24 hours. Now you have to know that here in Quebec, when people are mad and they swear, they use religious terms. Of course, the devil gets pretty upset hearing those. For example, we say things like, but I guess none of you are here this morning to learn French swearing, huh? You still have to specialize on what comes after bonjour. And that's no swearing. So all the lumberjack promise fine for 24 hours. They can be very civilized. They control their tongue and their language is good. He gives them the flying canoe. They go up to the sky. They finally reach their villages. They have the big Christmas party going on. Swing the baccarat down for the winter. Wow! Ça this one I said, no, il n'y avait pas un an too early for that. I thought I was doing as good as Madonna. Okay, I don't have the same costume, but I can't feel it the same way. So they have a great time. They dance, they sing, but you can imagine they drink also. So at the end of the evening, they all crawl back in their canoe. They start to argue between each other who was more sober to drive it. They forget the deal and they start to swear at each other. So that's it. Oh, the devil gets so upset. He doesn't want to have anything to do with those guys anymore. Takes the canoe from the sky, throw it to the forest. The canoe go crashing in the tree, and look at all the poor guy there. Well, the next morning, when they all got up and sober up and realized what had happened, then they all promised to never pass back with the devil. So already for us in Quebec, this story there, that's our old 18th century version of Don't Drink and Drive. Now this one here, that's the legend of the story of Tom Caribou. So meanwhile everybody's going to the other camp for church, Tom is put in charge and is supposed to stay behind and keep an eye on the camp. When what he does, as soon as everybody walks away, Tom sneaks out at the top of his favorite tree while he hides his bottle of Caribou, which is a Quebec traditional and quite deadly drink, and he starts drinking. But he's so thirsty and is drinking so fast that some of the liquid is falling below the tree, and there was a bear hibernating at the bottom of the tree. So after receiving so much drink on the nose, the bear wakes up. Whoa! He's pretty mad. Start chasing. The first thing is his moving, and of course it's Tom at the top of the tree. get a big part of Tom's rerun, and the bear gets tired by all that. He falls back to sleep below the tree. Well, Tom is now stuck in the top. Ooh! He doesn't dare going down. He's scared to go down, but bear might wake up again. So he has to wait that everybody comes back from church. Wonder where Tom is. Go and look for him. Find him up there. Realize what had happened and help dear old Tom to get out of the tree without waking up the bear. Then everybody smells some breath. Whoa! Realize that dear old Tom has been drinking and not keeping an eye on the can. Well, he had promised that he would never do that again. But Tom also learned another very important lesson that same day. Is that you should never drink with a bear behind. I can see that you're doing quite fine with a French accent. Now this one here, that's the legend of the story of Valérin. Valérin was the local storyteller, well, a little bit like me here in Saint-Anne-de-Beaupré. I've read the end of each one of the story, and he would tell. He used to finish them up by saying, well, if I'm not telling you the truth, may the devil send me by my feet. So no matter what, he would finish all his stories saying that. Everybody else knew that every so often he was stretching the story, changing the version, occasionally even lying a little bit. They decided it was time for him to learn a good lesson. So one night, they prepared a rope around his feet without him knowing it. So when he came out and he told his next story and he finished it up by saying, well, if I'm not telling you the truth, may the devil send me by my feet. One of the guys put off the rope. So my poor Spit found himself hanging from the tree right on top of the campfire. When he opened his eyes, he saw the flame and he thought, oh my gosh, I'm in hell. They let him hang in that position for a good hours until he promised he would never end up his story saying that again and stop stretching and changing the version. Then they finally cut him out, and somebody came and told me the other day that they saw some of his descendants. Apparently they are working as politicians here in Quebec. With that. So the next two room, it's in this room, and as you come out, they are Canadian legend, and there's a small description beside each one of them. The next room is dedicated to Mr. Paris' artwork, so there's some books, some picture of his artwork presented to the Pope, which are at the Museum of the Vatican, Rome, in Italy. There's also at the back a short video which shows you Mr. Paris when he was carving the artwork that is presented finished right below it, so you can see a little bit his different technique. And then you will see the artwork which are made by the young artists and apprentices. So on behalf of Mr. Paris, we thank you very much to stop by and visit us and maybe encourage us. I wish you all a very pleasant stay here in Quebec. Thank you.